Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm Arunashri. I'm thrilled to share my 8th lecture with you all. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out any upcoming lectures and discussions. Without any further delay, let's get started. Our 8th lecture will be exceptions. An exception is a event that disrupt the normal flow of the program. It means it will interrupt the normal flow of the program while the program executing. So these can occur in various conditions like when an user has entered an invalid data. That time it will throw an exception, and if in case the file is not found during the program execution, so that time it will throw an exception. A network connection has been lost in the middle of the communication, then it is also an exception, right? Then the JVM has run out of the memory, then that time also it will throw an exception. So these are the reasons the program will stop. Then exception handling. An exception handling is a technique which helps to return the normal flow of the program, even if the unexpected problem arises in the code during the execution. So those are all the above what we saw. So these are all the problems and these are all the various conditions to stop the program in the middle. So to handle that problems, we are introducing or they introduced the exception handling concept. So in this exception handling, if any unexpected problems arises in the middle of the code, so it will solve that problem. So that is called as exception handling. So the steps in the exception handling are like first, the problem will occur. So that problem, we need to create an exception. Means we need to create some exception code and it will throw an exception and that thrown exception will be handled by the exception handling. Then move on to the types of exception. Mainly we'll see here will be three types. One is a checked exception, unchecked exception and errors. So first one will be checked exception. Checked exception are the compile time exceptions because these exceptions are checked at the compile time by the compiler. Means these exception will be occur during the compilation time. During the compilation time, if any errors will be occurred, so that is nothing but a checked exception. Here, for example, the IO exception, SQL exception, interrupted exception, file not found exception. IO means input output exception, SQL exception, sequential and interrupted exception, and if in case the file is not found, so that will be as a compilation error. Okay. So, for example, this try and catch method will take. So, in try method, will included this non-existing file to the file reader. So the file which is not found, right? So that will be executed by using system.out.println. So that file not found, the system can't find the specified file. So that error is nothing but that exception is nothing but a checked exception. Then move on to the unchecked exception. So these are the exception which are not checked at the compile time. So these are not checked at the compile time, but these are checked at the runtime. Okay. It means the compiler does not force you to handle or declare these exceptions. The compiler it will not force and it will not find to handle the or declare the exception during the compile time. So here are the example like arithmetic expression, arithmetic exception, array index out of bounds exception, null pointer exception, illegal argument exceptions. So these are all the example for the unchecked exception. Let me tell about the arithmetic exception with an example. So here we are using same as a like previous one try and catch method. We are declaring two variables and initialize that variable that values to that variables. For example, the value of a will be 30 and b will be 0. So by dividing a by b, we'll get the output. Will not get the output, right? Why? Because 30 which is not divided by 0. So we can't divide it by that 0. And that result will throw an exception that it can't divide it a number by the 0. So this is an arithmetic exception. Okay. Next move on to the errors. So these are expectational conditions that are out of the control of the application and usually indicated a serious problem that should not be caught or handled by the application code. Means the errors which not be handled are caught by the application code. So this is one of the specific or specified error which this is a serious problem. It can't be find or it can't be handled by the application code. Here we will see about two types. One is a out of memory error, one is a stack overflow error. Out of memory error means it will occur during the runtime. It means the JVM run out of the memory. So that time will be occurred. So this error will be occurs. Next, stack overflow error. So thrown when the call stack exceeds its limit, when the stack will exceeds its limit, so that time the overflow error will be occurred. Next, benefits of exception handling. Robustness, maintainability, debugging, graceful failure. So robustness is nothing but the exception handling makes the programs more robust by providing a mechanism to deal with unexpected errors gracefully. So that is nothing but robustness. Maintainability means by separating a normal code execution from the error handling code. Exception handling promotes the code maintainability and readability. Then debugging. So exception messages and stack tracks help to debugging and diagnosing the issue of the code. Then graceful failure means the proper execution handling allows the program to fail gracefully without crashing, providing a better user experience. I would like to I would like to express my appreciation and gratitude to the audience for this time and attention and engagement during this session. Your presence and participation have been truly encouraging for me. Once again, thank you so much all.